sounds very beautiful, very pretty.
Nice.
Okay, now where are we right now?
And I really make you feel very delightful when you are inside the library here. And then if you go inside, if you take a look, you will find that the design of the library is also very different from the, I would say, the modern libraries that you can see.
Okay.
The library actually follows the design of the Mafra Palace in Portugal.
Okay.
So the Mafra Palace library, basically it resembles the similar kind of architectural style, the interior design. And
I think the most precious part of this library is right in front of us.
How come you know that?
You can see here.
Because you did your homework?
Yes. I'm sorry to ruin the surprise.
That's good.
I'm sorry to ruin the surprise, but I want to have the best presentation for our audiences to know.
You really have done a very good job.
Okay.
Okay, so right now you can see here this one. This is what we call Abelha da China. So Abelha da China, if we translate that into English, it means the little bee, okay, of China. Okay, Abelha means bee.
Okay, that's like spreading news about China worldwide.
Exactly. So actually, this newspaper was published in 1822, and that was the earliest newspaper written in foreign language. Okay, not just only published in Macau, but also in Chinese mainland at the time.
And today, I think we've got the privilege
to
see the original version of it. So I'm gonna have the curator of the library to help us with that.
Okay.
哎，你好，你好，我们可以看到这个的原本吗？
要等一下，我跟我的同事帮忙拿出来。
Lift up
Okay. It's all right. It's all right.
And
so
while we are waiting, we can
understand
also
the
take a look at
Portuguese?
this one. Yeah.
Can you still understand the Portuguese?
Yeah,
What is
it's
it all
written.
about saying?
Abelha da China, right? Abelha means bee, okay? The bee of China. And then here you can see Quinta-feira, it means Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
it's a Friday newspaper. And that was published in, you see, 1823, August 28.
Okay, 28. And what about this?
Oh, this one is really the most, to me,
Yeah.
okay,
hold
the
on.
most
The key is
precious
here.
one.
I think we're gonna move it out.
Sure.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Okay. 宇翔，你拍点旁边的。So I think I also heard that the most of the books collections here.
Yeah, they're from the 17th to the 19th century. Okay, some are the recent publications, say for example in the 20th century as well. So it's really quite precious for us to get the chance to come into the archive today, which was the former library of the Senate.
Okay. Now we are very much honored.
So you will have to put on the gloves.
Yeah, I need to put on the gloves.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this
really
is the very first Portuguese newspaper
in Macau.
In Macau.
Yeah.
In China and even in Asia, I guess.
Yeah, in China. And I must say, I'm also very excited because they really let you to take it out. Okay.
Yeah, wow, this is amazing.
Exactly.
Like, I as far as I know, I read some readings and research. This the newspaper didn't really publish much about the articles of China, but it did release some information about China, like the business deals between the merchants from Portugal and China back then, and also some other stories about the China's business development back in the late Ming and early Qing dynasties.
Yeah, true.
So,
and also they also reported some of the news that happened during that period of time in Portugal.
Okay, that's very, I'm really honored right now, got the chance to look at the origin of this newspaper.
It's really a very rare chance to see that.
Okay. So yes, I think that's pretty much for our part journey. Thank you very much, Cora, for taking us to this the ruins of St. Paul's, some good delicacies.
I'm glad you
yeah,
like it.
At the same time, right now, another friend of mine, also my colleague, is waiting to take you to see more about Macau. So I'm take it over and bring it to Yilei. Yilei, it's your turn.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tang Bo, for taking us through the bustling city center of Macau. And right here, right now, I think what I'm going to offer you is another immersive cultural tour. But just to give you a little bit of background, I am here at a place called Lai Chi Wan in Cantonese and Li Chi Wan in Mandarin. And that literally can be translated into Lychee Bowl. And it is a shipyard, as you can see. And for those who have just tuned in, you're watching the CGTN special live stream program to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Macau's return to China. And it is some sort of a, I should say, grand relay that the crew of CGT reporters will take you from one place to another to show you iconic landmark and cultural heritage, as you just seen the ruins of St. Paul, and also maybe some other thriving industrial parks of across Macau and also beyond. For example, here, if you look that way, I'm now about, let's say, half an hour's drive from the ruins of the St. Paul. I'm now on an island called if you look this way, this is the Lai Chi Wan village, and it is just so tranquil, and you can really feel the coexistence of human and nature. So the name of this place, Lychee Bowl, it originates from first, in the old days, this place was famous for the wide cultivation of lychee, and also bowl is because some people say this bay, it resembles the shape of a bowl. But what's special about this place nowadays is that it's now a old shipyard turned cultural public space. So this village building and fishing industries in the first half of 20th century, but later in that century, with the declining of fishing and the shipbuilding industries, this place was abandoned. But in recent years, the SAR government, they decided to refurbish and regenerate the sort of, I should say it's some kind of Rust Belt-like industrial area to inject some vitality to this region. And today we are now joined by a special guest, Mr. Buddy Lam, who is the Director of Corporate Affairs from Galaxy Entertainment Group. So Galaxy Entertainment Group has contributed greatly to the revitalization project. 林先生，谢谢您。
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
thank
joining
you.
us today.
Yeah.
So I have already given our audience a general.
So much for coming to visit Lai Chi Wan. It is like really our honor to have you, and then also the audience here today to look at what we have done here. I overheard some of the things that you said already, like you have given a very good explanation about Lai Chi Wan. But I think for to kind of like give a little bit of a complimentary information, and then I would like to first talk about the background of this project. And as you have mentioned, and the Macau SAR government has decided to entertainment. Macau is not just about like hotels. Macau is not, and this place actually represents a part of Macau, which was very, very interesting because as many of you actually do not know, Macau back in 50s.
50s.
Yeah,
oh, that's even
1550s. And then at the end of Ming Dynasty, I think Macau started having shipbuilding already. So over the years, and the shipbuilding industry in Macau has flourished until like 1990s. It was still kind of like one of the main industries. Then it slowly kind of like faded out. So, but now coming to this place, you can actually see some of the shipyard, that how it used to look like, and then what we have here. That's we are trying to bring something that is new to something that's quite old. So it's kind of like the old meets new, and but then they can also like experience like the history themselves as well. Maybe I can show you a little bit.
Yeah, so just to begin with, I have a walk around before we start this program around this refurbished shipyard, and I saw there are some other remains of the old decline shipyards
Yeah.
over there. So maybe we can take a closer look at
Sure.
them first.
Yeah, of course.
And I think, just as you said, if we compare this remains with what our colleagues just showed us, the ruins of this sample, this actually is just present to you another side of Macau, not just about its rich cultural and historical heritage, but also its image as a island city, right?
Yeah.
Because shipbuilding and fishing is something that means a lot to you as people living in Macau.
Yeah, I mean, Macau used to be kind of like a fisherman's village, and then we actually used to call ourselves like fishermen, and then we actually like did farming, fishing, and all that. It used to be kind of like the main top industries in Macau. Actually, what we are looking at is it hasn't been developed yet, but it's actually like part of our phase 2 developments. And so where we are now is actually phase 1, and then phase 2 is over there.
But it's
And,
clear if you compare the old one with the new one,
Yes.
it's like the shipyard to this new venue.
Yeah, so it was actually a lot of work. And then I would actually give all the credits to the Macau Patisserie happening here. And because the whole project consists of like when the government was developing, we are already moving ahead. So there were like a lot of discussions like over the past almost like 2 years. And when we were talking to them and then what they wanted to do and then some of the restrictions of what we are allowed to do, what we cannot do, because like at the end of the day, it's still a cultural heritage site. We cannot just like we do everything. So I think one of the most interesting points when you come here is like this whole place is like semi.
That can show how you, as you said, keep the original charm of
Yeah.
the shipyard.
So the whole idea was like to have this place completely open.
Open,
And so you cannot have a structure that is enclosed. So everything that you do here, you have to kind of like open to the. You can look at the sea. You can look at the left-hand side, right-hand side. Everything's kind of like open to kind of like the weather and then also to the air and all that. So when you come here, it's actually like it's not like when you go to a traditional museum, everything is like indoor. Here it's like everything, and so that you can actually like today the weather is very nice, and then you can hear the birds singing, and then the wind is blowing. It's a little bit cold.
So
I'm sorry.
it's like it's more of a touch of the real life of people who once lived here and work here.
Exactly, and then it's like because like in the old days, the ship building business, like the industry, people were working in this under this condition, and then once they finish building the ship, and then they put it into the water, so that you can actually like experience like being in the old day, like being in this environment.
Well, what else? I just noticed that there are many different kind of items here,
Yeah.
exhibits here. So what's special about this, refurbished shipyard? What can we find here to sort of take us back to the old days
Yeah.
and learn more about the
Sure.
shipbuilding
Sure.
industries?
Let me show you a couple of places, like this way, please. So this is like
What is that about?
this is like a rather simple interactive game that we have designed for mainly young children. And if you actually like, we actually hope to when the young children, when the kids, when they come over, they can actually learn about the shipbuilding. And if you are a kid,
Yeah, I do need to learn about shipbuilding as
yeah,
well.
and then so you're one person, so that you choose like the single personal challenge, and you press A, and then it actually shows you like this is like the whole
Some different
ship.
kind of vessels. That,
Yeah, this is the whole vessel.
Are
But,
they all constructed here or?
most of them were constructed here, and but the idea is like actually teach people like the different parts of the ship itself, and especially like young kids, they might not have experience like being on one of those. So you can actually.
So what I
pick-
should do is like to match the components of.
Exactly. You can just put different kinds of components into this like central area. So when it's doesn't work, and then maybe you look at the shape here. For example, like if you try here.
Oh, I didn't realize it's a wooden ship.
Yeah.
My bad. So I guess this will.
Yes.
This one?
Yes. Perfect.
So what's the name of this kind of ship? I don't know if it's displayed here on the screen or not.
Oh, it actually doesn't. But no, actually, sorry, it does. It's like motorized fishing boats. It's one of the motorized fishing boats.
But it's wooden.
It's wooden. And so.
And here it kind of show you a brief introduction of what people do with this kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So like for young kids, and they can actually like to make it a little bit more interesting, they can choose the color of the ship.
Families, friends, right? Because it's not just like a one-person challenge. There are also like team play.
So we hope that the parents, when they come here, when they teach their kids like about the shipbuilding, they learn about like different types of ship, and then they look at it and
to make sure that it's more interactive, digitalized, rather than just put together all the models and maybe just the
introduction, and then kids can actually like when they are playing the game, they can ask their parents like, oh, what is this? And then it's like, oh, what's the shape and all that. So then they can have more like a more interesting experience.
But it appears to me, and also just as you just mentioned, it seems that you are expecting that young people will also come to this place and immerse themselves into those interactions or games that if you were like, just why is it so important that you think to attract young people here and maybe even pass down the the knowledge, the history of the shipbuilding craftsmanship to them?
Well, I think this is a wonderful question. I think like for the tradition of Macau, and people just know Macau from with the hotels and then the entertainment industry, the business and all that. So for us, it's like we actually want to really show the people that come to Macau what Macau is really about. Macau actually has so much history. Macau has like so much interesting stories, like so many stories behind, and also like because. For us, Galaxy Entertainment Group, we also want to like, we don't want to just do something that's like very introductory. We also want to like, we want our parents when they come, when young kids when they come, when children, when students, when they come, they can learn something. So actually this place is actually quite big. It's like 3,000 square meters. And but this part is more like interactive. So this is not just like the only interactive game. We actually have a couple more.
Oh, can I take a look?
Yeah, sure.
So this, as you said, this is just the first phase of the entire project, and that would, I assume, take years in the future to complete, like to the revitalization of all of that.
Yeah, we're hoping that's like a second phase, and because there's like a lot of groundwork, and then we hope to finish like in the next 2 years, and then once that is finished, we just think to the future phases. And this is actually what I was talking about, another kind of interactive experience. Actually, if you try to touch one of this,
what is that, fish? Oh, it's fish
storage, and then just use one finger. And then you can actually look at here. You can actually use your finger to kind of like make it bigger, what it is. This is fragile fish maw, and then it's like, so it shows you like
all kind of fish produce that locals make.
So it also has explanation in Chinese, Portuguese, and English here as well.
Okay, so it says you have different kind of methods to keep the seawater salted, and then you get a variety of
exactly. So you can actually like apart from fish products, if you want to look at the fishing boats, here you just touch this like button, and then you can also look at
from the inside.
From the inside as well, like you can make it bigger, smaller, and then it's like what they put on the fishing boats when
That's
they go
really
fishing.
An exquisite model.
Yeah.
You cannot even
Yeah,
See the
you can
details
look at
on the bottom.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And then here there's like explanation. It's like based on the fishing operation, there are like three main kinds of fishing boats in Macau. That's were widely used: off-road deep sea fishing, and then coastal fishing, and then local water fishing as well. So it gives you an idea about like the fishing business, like because like we are in the shipbuilding area.
What else?
So
So we have fish, we have species, we have boat, and
you can also look at
yeah, I'm
life of
curious
fishing
about
community.
this. Yes, indeed. So just as I told our audience in the very beginning, but I didn't get it wrong. So fishing and shipbuilding, it's like the part of this community.
Yes. Yeah, it used to be kind of like what was so popular in Macau. And I was told like back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, a lot of people were actually really interested in joining the shipbuilding industry. It's a little bit like the gaming industry nowadays. And so you could imagine it's like what it was in the old days.
And also, there's a process of you know, this shipbuilding sectors growing from the traditional ones to more industrialized stage. And I just noticed that there was a screen over there showcasing some of the process of actually building ships, right?
Yeah.
So what is the? I mean, it is something common in the you know, coastal areas. So what is special about the shipbuilding techniques or traditions here in Citywalk?
Yeah, I think one of the more special background about the shipbuilding in Macau is like because Macau was under the Portuguese ruling for over 400 years, and so when Macau was developing its shipbuilding industry, and we had a lot of influence from the Portuguese shipbuilding industry as well, and one of the like very famous like fishing boats. I'm not sure if you heard about that. It's actually by the name of Locha. It's like a Portuguese name, and then it's like they actually use bits of Portuguese techniques with the Chinese techniques, and it's proven to be one of the most popular fishing boats. So I think some of this like it's also you can find it here. Like when you look at this video, actually they talk about there's like actually like the Lao Sifu, the master of shipbuilding industry, and then they actually like building the models for people to see. And so regularly we actually have the masters coming over, like probably during weekends and some of the major holidays, and then they can show people like in real life how the ships were built. But,
you mean they build ships here on the scene too?
Sorry, not the actual ship, but then they build the models. And
the model just like those, or?
Yeah, the models just like those, and smaller and bigger ones and all that. But because they are the actual shipbuilders, so they can actually build the real ships. But obviously, with the location, with the size and all that, we cannot afford to build a big ship here. But then they will come and build the models here, and then they can also like take classes. So during those classes, like actually visitors, like if they're interested, they can come and learn about it. They can build their own ship as well, but just the smaller ones.
I wonder if they have also regenerated their old ways of building ships, or they have keep the original flavor of
they're actually keeping the original techniques, and so you can see actually the tools, and through this video you can actually see the tools that they use, and then they use a lot of hands, and they don't really use like that many machines, and but then you can look at like the whole ship, like from just pieces of wood to like a nice looking model, and they actually put in a lot of work.
So did Galaxy Entertainment Group helped film this special video?
Yeah.
What's the most memorable part, or the special part about, you know, this sort of film production?
We actually the most.
Because my point is that I really want to know how you managed to work together with the masters to make sure that you know, to show vividly to people who don't know anything about their techniques, what they do, and Yeah.
Actually, when you look at a video like this, it's like not just like it wasn't filmed in like 1 hour or something. It's like actually we talked to them, and then also like we asked them like what they would like to show, and then also like we spent quite a lot of time like arranging this like the whole like video.
Wow.
And although it's like just a couple of minutes, but they also had to prepare and all that. So I think the most memorable parts, like doing a video like this, is like talking to them. They are so enthusiastic. They are so happy that we are actually like helping to promote the shipbuilding industry. Because for this masters, and that shipbuilding was their everyday life. And so obviously as Macau developed and the shipbuilding business like was slowly and slowly kind of like going away. So for us to like go to them and then tell them it's like we want to revitalize this place, we want to showcase the shipbuilding techniques, they were so happy. They were actually telling us like how happy they were. They had like so many stories about the past, about like being a fisherman, like building ships and all that. So I think that's like actually really the most interesting part. If you have if you have the chance, I would highly recommend you to come back. And then they're actually like some of the most interesting people that you can talk to. And if you want to know more about Macau.
Yeah, even standing here watching the video clip, I can tell the enthusiasm, as you mentioned, from simply this video clip.